He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a Logan Paul is a and I will say that here publicly. I'll fight him for free. For him to sit there and say, I think free speech is bad, just makes him look like a dumbass. The biggest problem with Logan versus me is that I'm a completely clean athlete and he's on a shitload of steroids. I don't give a fuck if he agrees with what I say or not. I don't care if he even likes me. As soon as something comes out, whether it's Harry Styles wearing a dress, Lil Nas twerking on the devil, he just sits there and goes, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great. He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda.
Welcome to Andrew Tate roasting, destroying, and embarrassing Logan Paul for 10 minutes straight. itsSeanDaniel here. And you may have seen one of the clips that I used in this intro if you recently watched my 1 hour of Andrew Tate roasting everybody video. But even if you did, don't worry, there's a bunch of extra clips in here that you have not seen if you watched that video. And if you guys enjoy my channel and enjoy the videos that I'm making, and you want to support my channel, you can join my YouTube membership down below. Just a small way to support me in making these videos, and I greatly appreciate that if you do. But if not, and you're just here to watch this Andrew Tate roasting, destroying Logan Paul video, let's get right into it.
We have to make everyone think Andrew Tate is bad. The young men like Andrew Tate. Who do the young men listen to? Logan Paul. So make Logan Paul say bad shit.
Brad, we said that.
Yeah, but
we said that we thought that Logan had to do that.
Of course he did.
Well, hold on, but you think someone actually told Logan, "Hey,
fuck yes,
this is what you need to do."
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Straightforward.
I don't think it was YouTube. I think it could have been his management.
His manager, YouTube, fucking who knows who. But
maybe even honestly, maybe even himself. Maybe he's like, "Yo, I endorse Tate. I gotta backtrack."
Do you take that shit personal, or you're just like?
I don't take it personally because I don't know the guy personally. I don't take it personally, but I do have a dislike, just as on a personal level in general, for cowardice, hypocrisy, switching up on people. That's just not how I roll with my team. If I was cool with you guys and you all got canceled, there wouldn't be a fucking split second where I'd go, well, you know, they've just been canceled and I might get canceled. Just, you're a bitch. Just who cares? You're my boy. Like, and even if you're not my boys, if I like somebody, I like somebody. If I don't, I don't. The way he 180'd, and it was a true 180, because you don't go from semi-cool with someone to sitting there saying his rhetoric is hateful. Yeah. He's like sitting there.
We're
I'm
wondering
like, bro,
why.
Who gave you this directive? And
why did they even have to say anything?
Because
that's what me and Brad are saying. Is why didn't they just
stay affiliated? Right?
Why didn't they just stay quiet?
Because
but I think
the Matrix, guys, I'm telling you why. Let's all be professionals here. Let's be smart. The Matrix has decided to character assassinate me. They have gotten all of their media establishments, all of their bullets. They fired every fucking bullet at me. Do you think they're not going to sit there and go, what other bullets do we have in the chamber? Who's his primary audience? These guys. Which cuck do we have who obeys every word we say, who also is somehow listened to by some of his guys? Logan. Go to a podcast. Andrew's bad. Whether it was YouTube, whether it was his manager, whether it was his boyfriend, fuck knows who. Someone sat there and said, do this. And they sat there for 2 hours saying, Andrew's so evil. Like a bunch of pussies because they were told to.
Yeah. We talked about it on our shit. I was very surprised.
You don't think he just wanted to just do it for fucking views?
Nah, definitely not for views.
No way.
There's not for views.
No.
He didn't want to mention my name at all. He doesn't like saying my name because everyone just writes underneath it, talk to you, you're a bitch.
To be fair, the worst part was just the fact that he had his own thing that he went through and then say like this person doesn't deserve a second chance. That's the worst part.
Yeah, but so he did it. And there's also a massive fear of him being canceled also. Like he got canceled and cried his eyes out on TV. To him, that was the most traumatic experience of his life. Yep. And when someone comes there and says, Tate's just been canceled, they might cancel you. You better fucking do this, Mr. Logan. Sure. He sits there and sells a soul. And what's interesting is this.
PTSD?
Yeah, PTSD. I'm not expecting him to... I can't believe they canceled me. Like that was a hard time for him. He ain't had a hard life like me.
That was fucked.
He ain't had a hard life like me. But the truth is this. I'm not expecting him to agree with everything I said. Jake said, look, I don't fuck with everything Tate says, but free speech is free speech.
Yep.
If you're a full grown man and you don't advocate for free speech, there's something wrong with you. Because then you don't understand history very well. And you understand that the first step of tyranny is to shut up free speech. You have to get one side of the story only and destroy all opposing viewpoints, and tyranny is next. So I don't give a fuck if he agrees with what I say or not. I don't care if he even likes me. For him to sit there and say, I think free speech is bad, just makes him look like a dumbass. And if you look at the comments on his video, look at the comments on his video.
Everyone
ripped him to pieces.
A lot of backlash.
Yeah, because everyone knows he's full of shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It taught me a lot. It also, there's some other people, I won't say their names because I don't want to make more beef, but there were some other people I was talking to who were cool, super famous, and I was going to do their show, and they totally wanted me on the show. And then I got canceled and they instantly shit themselves. And that went both ways. Like I was speaking to Patrick.
How long ago was that?
No, I was speaking to Patrick Bet David in the up run to getting canceled. Got canceled. He said, don't care. We're doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, gangster. Other people were like, oh, you got canceled and shit themselves and pussied out, which also shows me a lot. I'm not going to say their names. I'm not going to call them out, but they know who they are and I know who they are.
But what about Pierce Morgan you just did?
Pierce is separate.
By the way, I just want to say real quick that I think it's bullshit, and I thought you did really well in there.
They just argue. They interrupt.
Yeah.
I think the main thing with Logan too, that when he took it too far, was what he said is that if other creators collab with them and give Tate a platform, like that's not okay.
Yeah, don't give Tate a platform. Don't make the Tate brothers more famous than the Paul brothers. He was a bit jealous. First things first, I want to make it very, very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely and utterly a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. He doesn't stand up for anything, and he doesn't mean anything he says. He gets pieces of paper from Susan or whoever else telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel to retain it.
You believe that?
100%. Not only do I believe it, he's proved it himself. He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a bitch. Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to fight Logan Paul.
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he says. Logan Paul is a man. If you ever were unfortunate enough to consume his content, I get sent clips of it all the time by people mocking him. As soon as something comes out, whether it's Harry Styles wearing a dress, whether it's Lil Nas twerking on the devil, whether it's this, he just sits there and goes, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great. He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're going to use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view that the whole Hollywood establishment want him to purport. He doesn't believe in the things he said. He's told what to say. And because he was canceled before and it emotionally destroyed him, he sat on camera crying his eyes out like a little girl instead of being a man about it. He is so fearful of the mob and so scared of being canceled again that he's going to sit there and say anything he's told. He doesn't believe that shit. Before I was canceled, him and his boyfriend Mike did endless videos supporting me, laughing about me, saying how funny I was, tagging me on Instagram, inviting me places, etc. The second I'm canceled, they flip reverse it and shit themselves because they don't want to get canceled too. They are children. That's all they are. So Logan Paul's a bitch.
Not only that, but Logan Paul knows, and his whole team knows, that he would be nothing without his platform, following, and different channels and accounts. All of his revenue, his sponsorships, his media appearances, his Prime Hydration success, and his now WWE success and fandom, it wouldn't be happening without his big social media following. So he's going to do whatever it takes to keep that following and making sure he does not get canceled.
We told all the news to say Tate's bad, and all of his fans are 18 to 25-year-old men. Who do we have on YouTube who obeys us like a little cuck who speaks to 18 to 25-year-old men? Logan Paul. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. Do you want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you? No, Mom.
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch. He 180'd from a super fan to talking about my rhetoric being dangerous
but
in 24 hours.
There's a difference between you saying who you think he is versus you making the speculation that he got called by somebody to say, here's a narrative we want you to take, or else we'll silence you.
Well, Logan is not capable of independent thought. So if someone didn't give him the narrative, he didn't think it up himself. The dude's an empty vessel. He says what he is told to say. Somebody, somewhere, told Logan what to say and what stance to take. We can argue whether it was a social media company, whether it was his manager who was fearful,
right,
whether whatever. But somebody sat with Logan and said, look, Tate's getting a lot of smoke. You were cool with him. Your boyfriend Mike was cool with him. He's getting a lot of smoke right now. You're going to bitch out. And he sat there and said, yes, sir. Yes, I will. Because he has no character or no integrity. If it was all the other way around, let's imagine he was getting canceled. And I truly believed it was unfair. I'd sit there on my own platform and say, this is bullshit because I'm not bought, sold, and owned. He's an owned individual. So he's always going to say what he is told to say. He's always going to sit on podcasts, speaking to the youth, promoting Harry Styles wearing a dress, saying that it's great that Lil Nas twerks on the devil in real time for our children to digest, and then say, I'm dangerous to the youth, because that's what he's been told to say. Logan Paul has absolutely no capability for independent thought. And he has no character as a man. The biggest problem with Logan versus me is that I'm a completely clean athlete and he's on a shitload of steroids. So for him to fight me, either I have to go on a shitload of steroids and become a super heavyweight because I'm genetically gifted, or he has to pass a drugs test. So if he wants to fight for real and he'll keep pissing in a cup and he'll lay off the steroids, then you're sure I'll smash him up.
What rule set would you prefer?
It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, obviously, if we were to fight kickboxing or K1, I'd completely destroy him. Mm-hmm. Boxing is good for the fans. I think boxing translates very well to the fans because even MMA, although I think UFC shows are more entertaining, you still need a degree of knowledge to respect jiu-jitsu, whereas every idiot understands a punch in the face, right? So boxing translates very well for the fans. So I'm happy to box the guy. I mean, he's a big guy. He's a strong guy. Like I said, he's on a bunch of juice. If he lays off the juice and he wants to fight clean, then sure, I'll beat his ass. I mean, there's no problem. I'm not past it yet.
What about a street fight? What would happen?
Well, that's a good point because, you know, it's interesting. Street fights are completely different than anything that happens inside of any kind of rule set. Yeah. I think a lot of people have this misunderstanding where they think, oh, yeah, you're a pro fighter, so on the street. I'm like, yeah, okay, the street's great, and obviously you have an advantage on the street. But I've also seen, and I won't say names, I've seen world champion fighters get sparked on the street. You get sucker punched, you get sucker punched.
Yeah.
I've seen dudes get jumped. I've seen guys whose names I can say, which I won't, and everyone would know them, get knocked out clean, cold, ice on the street just because they were in a club and they were arguing with some guy and bang, sucker punch. It's messy, and especially I'm telling you guys now, especially in Europe and England, man, they don't give, in England, they don't care. It's different. So violence is very different than fighting. So I like to think that I would never have a fair street fight. Let's put it that way, because you have to win, right? Because it's life or death at that point.
Who do you think would win in a street fight? Andrew Tate or Logan Paul? I would have my money, even though I'm not a gambling man. Ain't no Prize Picks, ain't no DraftKings, ain't none of those gambling sponsorships on this channel. But even though I'm not a gambling man, I would favor Andrew Tate because he grew up in Luton, England, and Logan Paul grew up in suburban America in Northeast Ohio. And if you've ever flown into Luton Airport in London, you know what I'm talking about regarding Luton, England, and Andrew probably running into more street fight situations than Logan Paul. If you guys want to support this channel, you can just do that by subscribing for free, or if you want to support me and join my YouTube membership, just to support me in the different videos that I make on here, that's greatly appreciated, and I thank you for that. But if not, thank you so much for watching. And one note I want to make is that during that Nelk Boys clip, I was very surprised to see how Andrew had to get firm with the Nelk Boys about cutting out their different excuses they were kind of making. Like, well, you know, maybe Logan just wanted to change his mind about you on his own because of it. And Andrew was like, no, wake up, guys. You see that everyone's attacking me. All these liberal media, liberal influencers are going right against me. The major networks are going against me. It's pretty obvious why Logan would flip right away, which ties back to what I said in my little break in the middle, that everything Logan has success-wise and money-wise is tied to his following. I like that he had to keep it real with them because they were kind of towing the line with what could be said, it seemed like a little bit. He was just like, no, wake up. We know it's a Matrix attack. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. And if you guys are enjoying the videos I make or have enjoyed, oh my fuck. And if you guys, oh my fuck. Welcome to oh my God. Destroying and embarrassing. Oh my God. I don't even know what I'm saying.